All right, so would you please introduce yourself and describe your project?
Yeah, I'm Paul Skydema, and I'm the Director of Community Development for the City of Monmouth here. And among some of the things that I do are dealing with our city's sort of technological software, website inspection things, and I'm a former software developer, so I'm really kind of keen on using digital technology and software to really help the city better serve its citizens. And the project that we're talking about today is the Warren County Virtual Museum Project, which was one of the inaugural Broadband Innovation Fund grants from the state of Illinois. We applied for that grant in partnership with Monmouth College, with the Buchanan Center for the Arts, the Warren County Public Library, the Historical Society, and we were the only municipality in the entire state to get one of these 14 inaugural grants. And basically the idea is to create a digital online local history museum to basically give us a way to share our stories, our community stories, with not only our local community, but to reach out a little bit further. And that's really what the heart of the project is about.
All right, so what is the value of digital curating and archiving?
Well, on one hand, there's nothing that can really replace the experience of going to a museum and seeing the real things. Like if you've ever had a chance to go to the Smithsonian and you actually get to see, like the chair that Grant sat in when Lee surrendered, those things are absolutely amazing. But it's also getting harder and harder to collect and display those types of objects. And we have a county history museum in Warren County, but because we're a rural county, we don't have a lot of resources. It's only open a couple hours every month. So we've got these great stories to tell, but you can only experience them in person every once in a while. The advantage of having a digital collection or a digital exhibit is the fact that it's open 24/7. You can tell those stories at the convenience of the people who want to experience those stories. And I also have kind of a selfish interest in it, being the Director of Community Development. One of the things I want to do is promote our community and the stories of our community, to bring people here. And having these exhibits, these artifacts available online, give an opportunity to tell our story and hopefully hook people. That they go, I really want to see where this place was, or where this building was, or where this entrepreneur started this factory, and make history kind of be something that they participate in. So really, I mean, the benefit of it being digital is it's always there, it's always working for you, but it's a lot more nimble medium, because if you're talking about stuff, like say you're talking about old 100-year-old plows, because we've had plow factories here, those are really hard to set up in an exhibit. They're really hard to manipulate, but if you can create those as digital artifacts, you can present them in so many different ways. A history of agriculture, history of farm entrepreneurship. They can exist in different ways in different contexts at really no extra cost if you've got the infrastructure there. So it's a really valuable, economical way to basically share stories and your history with people who care.
So how can these projects build bridges and link communities?
Well, I mean, one of the things that I've kind of noticed is the more we're getting technology sort of infusing our daily life, it's both good and bad. It's kind of like the smartphone. On one hand, you could do so much with the smartphone, but it's also kind of downloading your brain to the smartphone. You're not remembering the numbers anymore. It's taking some of that away. And I mean, one of the things that is kind of neat about the way that people are starting to communicate through social networks is they're doing a lot more communication. They're creating a lot of different communities, communities of practice, communities of interest. There's great support groups. If you've got a health problem, there's support groups out there. So technology is doing a great job, I think, bridging those people together. But when you're talking about real people in a community, no longer are they sitting on the front porch. They aren't out there when you're walking your dog at night, because they're all off in these little digital kind of hideouts. The cool thing, I think, about a regionally based museum like the Warren County Virtual Museum is that we're using those tools to bridge people together digitally, to make those connections, but it's anchored in a real space and real time. And so hopefully what you're doing is you're kind of reawakening people to the stories of what made their community real, the places that made their community real, the people that made their community real. And using that medium, you're delivering a message that couldn't be delivered before.